You're welcome back. It's still Daybreak here on Trust TV, and it's time for our phone-in segment where we give you the opportunity to have your say. Now, today we'll be tackling a critical issue that is affecting you and I as Nigerians. We'll be asking, politicizing national issues, is it beginning to threaten our unity as Nigerians? Nigeria's unity has been, repeatedly tested by various challenges, and to an extent is often exacerbated by political maneuvering. For instance, we see, from public health to education to corruption to even election period, insecurity, economic inequality, all of this put together. When things happen and they're being politicized, does it affect our unity as Nigerians? Would love to hear your thoughts. So join us as we explore how when these issues are being politicized rather than looked at squarely, when we allow other factors come into play instead of tackling national issues the way they are and the way they should be. How is this threatening our unity as Nigerians? Well, share your thoughts and experiences, via phone call. The numbers will be displayed on your screen shortly. Would love to hear what it is you have to say, and send us a WhatsApp message or a message on X, our social media handle, using hashtag Daybreak Unity Matters. Let's talk about it. Let's hear your thoughts on it.
All right. We would like a personalized testimony, if you like, not just speaking broadly about the issues. How has it been difficult for you to advance a conversation on account of your ethnicity or your religion, whatever? We've seen countless number of that. When you go to the social media space, it is almost impossible to have a conversation. As long as you are from an ethnic group, every other person views your position and stand with suspects, and would only offer support. And sometimes we even go out of our ways, completely dump well-known moral standards to back up anybody who has done anything simply because we share the same ethnic groups or religious belief with this individual. It has stalled quite a number of conversations in Nigeria. We would like to hear what you think about this topic. And I understand we have our first caller for the morning. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, madam?
Fine, thank you. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
All right. I am calling from Benue State, and my name is Onu Joseph.
Good morning, Onu Joseph. Please go ahead.
All right. The topic this morning, politicizing national issues and it threatening unity of the nations. It's true. As a matter of fact, I am so interested in this topic this morning because Trust TV has been giving us the opportunity to air our view as citizens, since all of us cannot be in the National Assembly. Are you with me?
Yes, we
please,
can.
Mr. Onu, go ahead.
Mr. Onu, can you turn down the volume of your TV set? It seems you're trying to listen to yourself. Please turn down the volume of your TV set. Talk to us through your phone. You could catch up on our live stream later if you'd love to hear yourself, talk to us.
I'm not close to the television set, but I have turned it off. Can
Oh,
you hear me?
all right, yes. So go ahead.
From my own personal experience, I have discovered that not just only national issue, but in terms of employment, when you are seeking for a job, I have visited so many federal parastatals, organizations, meet with, stakeholders, leaders of such organizations, such as the head of institutions, head of administrations, and the only thing I get is that, do you have any politicians that can recommend you? All the effort trying to meet some political leaders, the first question they will ask is that which party do you belong? Is that supposed to be? I have personal experience of where someone will be overqualified. I have 2-1 in my undergraduate study, distinction in my master's study, and as I speak to you, I have visited so many public universities, and all the answers I got is that, can you go and meet your senators? And the senators, even the PO will be asking you, which of the parties do you be? I'm not afraid of saying this. I am saying a real practical reality. Which of the parties do you belong? Are you representing parties or are you representing the people? Things are no longer based on the ground of competency and equity. What happened now is that political recommendations have spoiled all the administrative have this. qualifies for a particular job is denied based on the fact that he doesn't know any political godfather. Is that the way to move forward? Please, I don't have much to say, but it's a nice topic and I want Nigerians to wake up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Onu, and do have a nice day there. Your points are well taken, and your experience with the topic, stems from attempts to get jobs and how you have been treated with disdain, largely on account of where you come from. I mean, even within your own geopolitical zone, the question raises to what part of that political zone are you coming from? Good morning, your name and where you're calling from. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. If you can hear me, your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning. My name is Shetima Yakudima, calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning, Malan Shetima, and it's a pleasure to hear your voice again this morning.
Thank you so much.
Please go ahead.
Well, politicizing national issue. To me, the way I look at it is we do away with the history of our forefathers. Because Sardauna, Tafa Balewa, Inamdi Azukwe and Oholo, they have played a very good role in putting Nigeria first. But today, you can go to many schools. They are not teaching the lesson of social study, neither history. They kill that subject. And that subject, they are very, very important in boosting the morale of youth one to put Nigeria in their hearts. Look at where our forefathers, they try and they have caged their demands and their desire to build Nigeria. You see, our politicians nowadays, they deliberately do not design the policy of teaching these two subjects. So through these two subjects, you can understand the way our heroes try hard to build Nigeria. And nowadays, honestly speaking, it is true that the problem of Yorubas is for Yorubas alone. The problem of Hausas is for Hausas alone. The problem of the Igbo man is for just Igbo alone. And by the time we give space, this thing will grow up and it will involve all parts of Nigeria. Look at the way now these insurgencies, this insecurity started from Maiduguri here. It started from Maiduguri. But all people, they thought it is a problem of Maiduguri alone. I can remember in Kano, when passengers are calling in the garage, they say, who will go they give Nigeria and Maiduguri a name. They are calling it Afghanistan because of the insecurity. Look at our neighbors, Kano. They are calling us the Afghanistan instead of them to pray for us. So that's the fundamental problem we have. So we should wake up and look and put Nigeria first. Nigeria is first because this Nigeria is belong to all of us, no matter what ethnic group you are just belong to. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shetima from Maiduguri. And I like the fact that two things came out of your conversation: the need for us to begin to address this problem from the root, but you spoke more importantly, the one that resonates with me, of course, is the question of stereotyping.
Yeah.
We have taken the conversation around stereotype too far to begin to even label people in a certain way, such that people, endlessly need to prove themselves over and over and over. And even with that, people do not accept what you are bringing to the table anyway. I mean, how can you possibly describe a section of Nigeria as Afghanistan? You can imagine what that would be. When you come into people, they just develop suspicions against your person even before they give you the opportunity to prove yourself. And at the national level, it's amazing. During the last election, if people would tell you, go and trust this candidate at your own peril, the candidate has not had the opportunity to fail you. But the mere fact that he comes from a certain part of the country is a reason why he's a suspect. And we saw that narrative take roots, even with the way our politicians behave. You know, even the way we go around issues. So, in fighting corruption, everybody from the accused person's ethnic group
Are defending.
are defending. Every other person is castigated. You know.
Let's quickly take this call. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. Tell us your name.
I'm Mr. Paul. I'm calling you from Makodin.
Mr. Fuad, thank you for joining us. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Thank you very much. Yes, you have brought another good topic that can unify Nigeria this morning again.
We hope it does.
This politicizing national issue is a threat to our development as a Nigeria. Yes, it's very bad and it's affecting us really. It's only that we don't care about it, but it has been affecting us. The first instance I want to give is concerning when the end-part government protest was held. A particular region in Nigeria here that we are suffering the same thing said what is happening there doesn't concern them because the president is from a particular side and that in the first place there is not even voting. So if we are suffering, let it continue like that, forgetting that we are all together suffering it. That's by the way. Secondly, when the Super Eagles of Nigeria are playing, or maybe they have a match, so if we'll be telling you majority of the players are from particular setup. So for that reason, that team is not represented in terms of the general Nigeria. It is not supposed to be like that. As far as this Nigeria, they are green, white, green. Let us take it, even though your language is not represented in the team. They cannot say if they want to follow language issue, maybe they will be bringing people who are not talented in playing football, and Nigeria will lose the match. So I think God, we need to pray to God so that He will lead us through, so that we can unite and have a greater Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. As a believer myself, I cannot throw away your wish for prayer, but I think the question of building national unity and integration has to be deliberate. It's not beyond God. But it has to be practical.
No, say God has given you the will.
Yeah.
So you have to do.
It's about what we can do.
Yes.
Some of the nations we run to today were products of war. Go and read the history of Canada and where they are today with regards to the question of integration. You understand that even our history is not so bad. You know. All right. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning. My name is Ade. I'm calling from London.
Good morning, Mr. Ade, all the way from London.
Good morning to you and good morning to my sister there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Go ahead.
National issue, politicized national issue has been existing for a very, very long time. You understand?
Yeah.
And what I can factor in Nigeria is that the problem we're having in Nigeria is nothing more than religion. Whatever things you say, whatever program you put down, whatever, anything at all, they will look at it from the point of religion first, before you don't hear their views. So this has been for a very, very long time. I think before this can come back to normal, maybe it's not going to be this our generation. What I mean our generation, me that have retired, but the younger ones, they are coming now, the Gen Z. I think they will try and balance it and show that religion is not number one. Number one is we are in Nigeria. We are human beings. You are existing. Because if that should take part in Europe, somebody like Sunak will never be our prime minister. An Hindu man for that matter. An Hindu man during Christmas, that the best celebration for white people is Christmas. That's why we don't go out. No bus, no train, no plane, nothing on Christmas Day in England. Everything shut down. And the reason is that they want to be with your family. And Sunak, he was our prime minister, Hindu, who we put powder there. And nobody did anything wrong with him. So that is the Nigeria we want to see. So without saying this is where it comes from, I live in Kano in 1978 to 1989 before I travel out. And as an architect, when we want to design a plan, we go to seek for job to draw something. I have to put on a babariga and dress properly for me to get the job. If I wear buba and shokoto, like that said, I promise, I won't get the job. 78, and it's still existing now. So God, only God, will take control of our country. I'm telling you. And our Gen Z coming up now, I pray that they will not plant such thing in their heart. So when all of us have gone, they will now rectify everything, and everything will be normal. That's what I believe. And God will do it, and God will rescue Nigeria. Thank you, trust you. You are the best.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ade, for those compliments. We hear you. We'll continue to do our best to serve you all of the issues, that speak to consciousness as a nation. There have been various attempts, without missing the mark, at uniting us as a country, one of which is the National Youth Service Corps, which has been so bastardized. People go to school in one region.
They want to serve there.
In the same, if possible, serve in their father's houses and in their father's company, and having no opportunity to understand how people from the other part of this country exist, function, think, and some of the things that inform their value. Good morning, your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, my name is Do Good. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Mr. Do Good from Port Harcourt. I hope you have started seeing the fuel from the Port Harcourt refinery.
It's story. Never mind. We will see. Now we see, we believe.
All right, we'll come back to that some other day. Please go ahead and share your perspective.
Yes, like last speaker said, religion. I don't know how it is religion. I think it's high time we ask religion to one corner and focus our nation. Our nation is first before any religion. I can see now how the country look like. Right from 1950 to now, you can see a big change. A triple change in the nation. Things fall apart. The family cannot go anymore. So what actually happened? Initially, when I was born from Iseman. All the whole Alhaji we are living with at Tinubu, that is where it has a center of excellency, center of truthfulness. If say yes, yes is yes. If say no, no is no. But now, everything has turned upside down. That's why I say things are fall apart. I think I can no longer hold. Now, Muslim is center of God. Christianity is center of God. We're on Muslim tickets now, and look at how Nigeria look like. How do we provide it? How do we say it? How do we go about it? It does, I'm not trying to be funny, but this country, like as I said, when all of us give the way, I think God will bring somebody to go outside this country, because as it is now, I don't know where to start to fight it. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start.
All right.
It's only Almighty God who created heaven and earth, who knows Him, beginning from the end, with all this population for us. Yes. But I know that God uses human beings to solve problems. But all the human beings now are all polluted. I don't know what it's going to use now. Eventually, all of us here will work, but they wipe all of us out to bring new faith, to bring this country good. I'm trying to say it, but God is truth. Let God help the faith of this our country. As us to go on by one. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Dogood. And I quite understand what you're saying. And when we say these things, sometimes they come off like trying to be arrogant. I have been to just about every state in this country. I speak all of the major dialects. As a polyglot, I've spent time in various places to have picked up those languages. And my worldview cannot be the same with somebody who has had just the experience of one place.
Talking about I remember when I first came to Abuja, I experienced high culture shock, because I was like, what's happening? Why people dressed like this? But I'm glad I had that level of exposure. Relating back to what Shetima said when it comes to educating from the grassroots, I believe that is where we should start from, because children, they have no idea what it means to be from tribe A or tribe B. They just know that Aliyu is my friend, Emeka is my friend, Musa is my friend, or Latunji is my friend, and they move on. So when you start educating, but I realized that schools nowadays are saying, oh, British curriculum, and they're teaching you on the history of London and the history of UK and the history of America. What happened to the history of Nigeria? What happened to understanding our culture and our history and our national heroes in Nigeria? That part tends to always be missing from the curriculum.
Let me tell you one of the shocks I got when I was transferred to Lagos. Every time I did something every other person would do, it came up as a shock because the understanding they had was I was coming from the remotest part of this country. I shouldn't know those things. When they came in and saw me working on a laptop, it was a shock to some of my colleagues who had never been anywhere outside Lagos. When you speak about global issues, they don't understand why you should know so much. So I kept wondering, what kind of narrative did they have about people who live in other places outside their location? That was just Lagos. And then when you go to places and meet the ordinary people, not this vocal minority, the real people who live at the grassroots. You know, I spent a time in a small community called Doko at a very young age, and I remember the chief offering me the opportunity to pick a wife from his kingdom, you know. And we were of two different religions, but I operated out of the chief's palace to go do whatever I do, and then I come back, I help with lessons and all. And they fell in love with me that sometimes I have more than I can take as food coming from all the various wives for the things that I do for the palace. And they said, whenever you are ready, if you can find your way back here, I'll give you a wife. It was how much they came to like who I was, not what religion I represented.
Exactly.
And you know, vice versa. And you have that experience everywhere, you know, when you interact with the real people. But somehow, this whatever it is has blinded us so much that we are not seeing that integration. We are not taking ownership of the kind of country God has given us, and we are just operating completely at an artificial.
Yeah, but we keep getting married to ourselves every Saturday.
Yeah. All right. Another caller we have. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Ogazi, calling from Kogi State right now.
Mr. Ogazi, from what part of Kogi, sir?
Kogi State, Ayangba, precisely.
From Ayangba. That's where you have the Abubakar Audi's University, in it?
No, yes, Abubakar done a great job.
Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us. Please share your perspective.
It's okay. I really have few things to contribute to concern the...
We seem to be losing your voice. It is fading away gradually. Can you speak up, please?
Okay. I said I had only two things to contribute in Nigeria politicizing and issues concerning the Nigerians, which we have been facing over decades ago now. So my contribution and the way out concerning the issue is that Nigeria have not been seeing themselves as a country. They are seeing themselves as an individuals. So everybody depends on himself and his family, or probably you pick your friend and make him rich if you are in a position of making person rich. So, but Nigerians are not be thinking of what am I going to do to make this country developed. No, don't have the interest anymore. The interest of that has been faded out. Because I started thinking that it seems like this, our generation, have not inherit our father's enemy. Maybe now your father and my father have a problem in time to come. Instead of me to let go, I inherit the enemy of my father instead of inheriting a good thing from my father. So it's very, very bad. It's not something that we're supposed to be seeing in this current situation that Nigeria is now. I must say this, I have said it before and I want to repeat it again. The way forward for Nigeria to go right now is one, if there will be oral constitution in Nigeria concerning state of origin, one. Second, religion. let's take away state of origin from some part of parastatal, some part of offices. If you are looking for a job, even if I am married and I am looking for a job in a Kano state, let them put me in that position because I am married. Let them not put me in that position because I am from Kano state. Let them not deny me the work because I'm from Enugu state, because I'm an Anyamiri, or because I'm Igbo, something of that nature. That is the only way out. Nigeria will come to the standard again. So, second, the religion issue. We said we are living in a secular state. Then, are we saying it in mouth without having the practical? So, we need to say it in the mouth, which is theory, and we take it in the practical, which will show, example, yes, this person is this person, and he is working here, is not a Muslim, he's a Christian, but he's working in a Muslim domain, and this one is not a Muslim, and is working in a Christian domain. That is the only thing that will bring Nigeria together. Without that, I am not seeing the future of Nigeria. What happened in the past election in Nigeria? A person stood up and said that if you don't vote in this particular party, I am going to do this to you. National TV carried it, everything carried it. But Nigeria don't have a law to prosecute a person that does that. We need to go back and put down a law. In South Korea today, if I commit any offense, my child is going to suffer for the offense that I commit. Any of my family will not smell any government position again. So please, let Nigeria go back and make a law that will persecute. The other time they hear themselves say that hate speech, the bill. After that time, how many people have committed hate speech? What is the offense that they have said?
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your contribution and your insight. Whenever this conversation come up for discussion, you get the sense that everybody is tired of where we are. The problem is nobody is willing to move to the right, to the direction that would help us come out of this.
You know, I had a conversation with someone, and I laugh sometimes. She's from the north. Her mom is from the west. Her dad is from the north. Her mom is from the west. She married a man from the east. So she keeps saying, so where are my children from? If we keep discriminating ourselves, where am I from? Where are my children from? Because if I go to the north, I won't be fully accepted because my mom is from the west. If I go to the east, my kids might not be fully accepted because they would say, oh no, you people are from the north, or you people look more northern, you people don't look like Igbo boys. So at this point, we forget that in as much as we're having this, okay, I'm not from this tribe, we keep marrying ourselves every Saturday and keep giving birth to.
It's amazing how most of these things are programmed into us during development. I have parents who settled in the north after the war. I was born, bred, and educated in a state different from my own. Every time I go back to my state, I feel like a stranger. I don't understand what goes on there. I don't understand the thinking. Even some part of the cultures come to me as a shock, you know. So it's the reality that we live, and even at that, you suffer some of this discrimination.
Exactly.
We will take our last call for this segment. Good morning, your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Dr. Fogo. I'm calling from Lafia, Nasarawa State.
Good morning, Doctor. How is Lafia this morning with regards to the Harmattan?
Lafia is very cold and it's okay. There's peace and no problem. We are enjoying Lafia.
That's good to know. Please go ahead and share your perspective.
I can see the topic, politicizing national issue. I think this problem is mainly with the big shots in Nigeria. The poor people don't have any problem with this national issue because if you go to the market, you see Hausa man, you see Igbo man, you see Yoruba man, you see other minor ethnic groups in Nigeria. They are laughing, they are shopping together. I remember in Jos, when there was a fire outbreak in one of the markets in Jos. The Hausa man said the Igbo man normally, after selling, he will give money to the Hausa man to keep for him. I think the problem with this is politicizing national issues with the people, the rich people in Nigeria. Because of their selfish interest, when they don't get what they want in the national arena, they go back to their villages and
stop the
they
fire.
They try to instigate the poor people, you know. They instigate the poor people because of the level of illiteracy. They don't ask, why do you want me to do this? At least we want to do orientation, we should start with the politicians, the rich people in Nigeria. The poor people don't have a problem with politicizing national issues. They are always stomach infrastructure. It's the rich people that instigate them to do what they are doing. If we want to enlighten, we should start with the politicians and the rich people in Nigeria. That's my take.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your perspective. Sometimes these issues are difficult. The question with other people is, do we enlighten the poor people to as much as resist when these guys come to them? Because with the rich people, you wonder whether there is any room for any kind of event, especially because they are private interests. But you see this everywhere. I have been a financial reporter for more than a decade. If you pick the budget, the Nigerian budget, the so-called Nigeria budget, or whether it is called Hope or New Transformation or whatever, and you break those budgets into pieces, what you will see is the conversation we are having. If you take a ministry and you check all their capital projects and spendings, just go and find out where the minister comes from, where the permanent secretary comes from, and maybe where the directors in the ministries come from. You will see why all the projects are heading in one direction. And ditto every other ministry.
Wow.
If a governor is sitting and there is a university to be cited, if it is not cited in his town, then there will be no location for that university. It speaks to everything. Even chief of army staffs were citing universities in their town. And we call it a national budget. So you now understand why projects would remain uncompleted for so long. Why would I come and complete a project I know you cited in your town and it will not benefit my people? Why would I, if you go to ministries and agencies, if you see the dominating tribes in the employment, it just aligns with the person who is at the end of affairs. It's against picking people who merit this employment or who will give value to Nigerians. However, the contrasting reality is, whenever we are sick, if Ade is the best doctor, we go for him. If Danjuma is the best pilot, we move there. If we want to eat and the best restaurant is Calabar Kitchen, we don't have a problem going there. Why do we look for the best when we want services, and then when we get the opportunity to advance this country, we bring the worst of us to drive services for the best for the rest of us? It's amazing. It's a question we really need to answer. And so that is why conversations will never be straight. If you have given all your village people work and they are chasing you for corruption, if they bring you down, they obviously will get to them. So why would they not line up behind you? These are food for thoughts.
Indeed, food for thoughts. And I look forward to the day where, as a Nigerian, you would beat your chest and you would say, I am a Nigerian first before you'd say, I'm an Igbo man, or I'm a Yoruba man, or I'm from this tribe. Even among the tribes, the three major tribes, there are still discrimination amongst them.
We do it abroad. For some reasons, we don't relate at home very well.
Oh, no, abroad.
Everywhere where we meet, we're all Nigerians.
Yes, abroad we're all Nigerians. Oh, he's my Nigerian brother. Back home is my Nigerian brother. But back home here, there's that discrimination. Oh, Igbo people think this way. This tribe think this way. This is how these people eat. You can't be with this person. And it's really, really affecting our national unity, how we look at issues that could be tackled in the nation. And we really hope that someday we'll go past that and like he said, it starts from the top. These political leaders are using it to flood disunity, in as much as it's not existent amongst us. It is existent among us, but they are just bringing it out.
One big poser is, have we ever wondered why, despite whatever Nigeria throws at us, that the only institutions that are standing in this country are private-owned institutions? Because they go for the best, and it doesn't matter what tribe or tongue or religion you profess. If they want to pick their human resource, they sieve from the lot and pick the best and give them the tools to function. And that is why your economy is going to the south. The banks are declaring profits to the north. It's like heaven and earth. So the question is, how do they succeed in a system that is not functioning? It's a big poser for us. All right. We'll take a quick breather. When we return, we'll be discussing We are extending our conversation. This time around, we'll be looking at HIV/AIDS in our next conversation. You don't want to miss it.